Welcome to another RSR. Tonight we're reviewing LA Chargers 12, Houston Texans 32, and Pittsburgh Steelers 14, Baltimore Ravens 28 in NFL Super Wildcard Saturday 2025. There were two games where teams got belt to ass. I guess the Texans-Chargers one was worse. But if the Steelers played worth a damn for all four quarters, they might have won that game. But they didn't. They only played when their backs were up against the wall. Once they started feeling like they weren't, they went back to the same old crap. But we'll start with Chargers-Texans. The best thing about the game was SpongeBob called it up until Collins put the team on his back and said, nah, I'm going to win this one for you, for the Texans. And he set them up well. First quarter, 2 field goals by Cameron Dicker for the Chargers, 35-yarder and a 39-yarder, respectively 3-0, then 6-0. The Chargers were putting belt to ass in the first quarter on that Texans defense. Sadly enough, they couldn't come out with more than 6 points. And in the end, it just wasn't meant to be. Second quarter on, the Texans took control of this game. Collins with a 13-yard touchdown catch. They find him for a 13-yard touchdown. He gets into the end zone, 6-7. At the end of the half, Kymie Fairbairn hits a 41-yard field goal to make it 6-10. Halftime, it is 6-10, and it just gets opened up from there. Kymie Fairbairn with a 37-yard field goal, 6-13. Eric Murray, a pick six on Justin Herbert, 6-20. Kymie Fairbairn off another pick ends up hitting a 30-yard field goal, 6-23. Ladd McConkey with an 87-yard touchdown catch. He climbs the ladder, catches the ball, runs his way down to the end zone, 6-23. They kick the extra point. They miss. It's blocked. D'Angelo Ross picks up the blocked PAT, runs it back for a 2-point conversion into the end zone, 12-25 off that same touchdown. And then Joe Mixon with a 17-yard touchdown run breaks one off to make it 12-32, and that's the way the game would end, 12-32 for the Houston Texans. Let me say this. Justin Herbert, 4 picks. That is the padlock stat of this game. 4 picks by Justin Herbert. They could not move the ball at all. The Chargers choked. No charges, no. They choked to a team that had no business choking to. A Texans team that lost 2 of their best wide receivers, had barely any weapons, and they still found a way. They still had Collins. This is true, but that's a wide receiver 3 becoming wide receiver 1. And they still put belt to ass. The Chargers came up empty. Seems like, to me, Justin Herbert's a fraud. When the lights are brightest for him, he folds like a cheap suit, even with Harbaugh. The playoff game where they blew the lead against the Jaguars, they lost. They go to Houston, start off hot, can't get more than 6 points, and it just blows them up. 4 interceptions for Herbert. That's the game for you. 4 picks. That's the game for you. And Houston were clinical. LA couldn't move the damn ball. Houston were clinical. CJ Stroud had a performance reminiscent of last year's CJ Stroud. He did fall off a little bit this year. But this was the CJ Stroud we thought, you know what, the Texans could be a contender in 2024-25 if he keeps playing like this. This was the CJ Stroud that people were like, hey, you know, this might be something for the Texans, low key. This is the CJ Stroud that was playing the playoffs last year. This is the CJ Stroud who can win games single-handedly. And damn, he did it. Big ups to CJ Stroud. They needed it. For me, Houston did what they were supposed to do. Was it a boring game for the most part? Yes. Again, the best part was SpongeBob was announcing it. I don't know how many of y'all watched that part, but I'll say it again. The SpongeBob Patrick telecast with Nate Burleson, amazing. Amazing. I love it. I love it. It's awesome. It's awesome. I'll always watch those. I don't want the turtles. At least as the announcers, don't do that again. Keep it SpongeBob and Patrick. Keep showing Jimmy Neutron. I'll take the new Dora. it's still Dora the Explorer. Throw in, I don't know, Doug. Didn't Disney buy his... Ren and Stimpy. Well. Okay, throw in Kenan Thompson. It was awesome to see Mark Summers, though. Phil Moore. Temple Guards were there. That was nice. But, yeah. The game was honestly boring, but Houston did what they had to do. Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 14. Baltimore Ravens, 28. The first half was all Ravens, belt to ass on the Steelers. Second half was mostly the Steelers, except the Ravens got one touchdown that made sure this game was untouchable, and the Steelers fell apart as soon as they felt like their hope was being recognized. First quarter, Rashad Bateman with a 15-yard touchdown pass right at close to the end of the first quarter. The Ravens absolutely chew up a lot of clock to get this touchdown. They march down the field. Rashad Bateman finds it into the end zone. Nobody was on him. 0-7. Second half, Derrick Henry, it was an 8-yard touchdown run, not 80. But it felt like it because Derrick Henry ran down the whole field. If Lamar wasn't running, Derrick Henry was running. All those plays were runs. 0-14. Then you have Justice Hill, 5-yard touchdown catch, finds his way into the end zone. 0-21. Halftime at 0-21. Steelers look finished. They couldn't cross midfield. They didn't do a damn thing. The defense played like crap, which is very uncharacteristic of the Steelers. Lamar Jackson was absolutely running all over the Steelers. Henry was as well. Lamar was making some good throws without Zay Flowers. It was a perfect game for the Ravens. Even though it got closer, it was a perfect game for them. I mean, they absolutely just ran the Steelers down into a mud hole. Simple as. Then, in the third quarter, Van Jefferson with a 30-yard touchdown catch. Russ starts throwing moon balls. It starts working, 7-21. Derrick Henry with a 44-yard touchdown run. He doesn't get tackled. Nobody catches him. A Beastquake-like run for Derrick Henry, which, no surprise, right? 7-28. And then 36-yard touchdown catch. Another moon ball to George Pickens. He catches this one. 14-28. No scoring after that, the third quarter or the fourth quarter. The finals 14-28. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a joke. I'm not even mad about the Ravens winning. I had them winning this game. I was right about that. I was right about the Chargers-Texans game. 1-1 of my predictions so far. Texans beat the Chargers, which I'm surprised about, but I'm not surprised about this result. The Steelers made it look closer. Whoop-de-frickin-do. That's what they did against the Bills. They made it look close. That's what they do. That's what they do. They made it look close. They still got belt to ass. Like, yeah, 14-28. It seems like a close game. No, if you look at the scoring, 299 rushing yards for the Ravens. The Steelers had no answer. None. Whether it was Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, or Justice Hill, they had no answer. Hell, Mark Andrews got a couple of sneaks for first downs. I mean, come on. They didn't even show Pat Ricard. He didn't even get anything. And he used to be a pretty good trust me type option for the Ravens. So, you look at it and you're like, damn. Yeah, they ran all over them. It should have been more than 14-28 Ravens. I mean, the Ravens absolutely dominated the Steelers. Dominated because the game plan was horrible from minute one. When they started throwing moon balls and they were desperate, they looked better. It's just like the Cincinnati game. When the Steelers looked desperate in that game, they looked amazing. When it was normal, no. They didn't do a damn thing. When they felt like they had a chance, they didn't do a damn thing. When they started the game, they didn't do a damn thing. When they were desperate, they were on fire. Moon balls were landing. Russ Wilson's cooked. Yeah, he can still throw a good 30-yard moon ball. Great. He got sacked. 3 back-breaking sacks. Get rid of them. Justin Fields would at least ran for a first down on a couple of those. Or at least kept the ball going forward or threw the damn thing away. Russ thinks he's still, 5 years, 6 years younger, still can run? No. No, he's slow. He's old. Better be on a cane. Walk on a cane. Run on a cane. Probably make you faster. Like, seriously, Russ. You're washed. You're done. Go. Fire Mike Tomlin. Fire Terrell Austin. Simple. Get rid of Najee and Russell Wilson. That's, I think, the first part of the problem. Let Justin Fields start for a year. If he's good, you got your quarterback. If you don't, you're drafting high. And get a good quarterback. On a pretty good draft class as well. Then, Jaylen Warren, better running back. Let him cook. Mike Tomlin's finished. Again, he rode in on Bill Cowher's coattails. Once Bill Cowher's players started retiring, as I said last week, he started sucking. The more and more that retired, the more he started sucking and failing. 6 straight playoff losses. He hasn't won a playoff game since the Obama administration. 3 presidents ago. Well, about to be 3 presidents ago. And 2 of those presidents are the same guy. And one of them was Obama's wingman, who wasn't cool anymore. He just went senile. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Mike Tomlin has not won a playoff game since the Obama administration. That was 8 years ago. And I think it was the year he gave over power. Before he gave over power. Hell, I think the AFC title game that year was actually before he gave over power too, but I have to check that. Well, no. Oh, wait. Oh. No, maybe. No. The AFC title game was in Super Bowl 51 was 17. So no, it was. Yeah, so I have to check that. But, dude, if you can't win a playoff game in 8 years, I'm sorry, you suck. You're done. Get the hell out. Their defensive coordinator's trash. Arthur Smith, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think that's more of a Russ problem and more of a Najee problem than an Arthur Smith problem and more of a Mike Tomlin problem. But what about the Falcons? Well, that's just the Falcons. I mean, simple. With that being said, though, blow it up to a certain extent. Not completely, but throw some rocks into the water. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because this ain't working. It's over. It's over for Mike Tomlin. He's finished. Like, I mean, did you not see him look like a deer right in headlights for the whole last 5 weeks? Every time it was on him on the sideline, he looked like, oh shit, that car's coming at me. I'm about to get ran over. Come on now. He had no answer. He had no answer at all for the past 5 weeks. Jokes. Absolute joke. Simple as. I mean, wow. And you know what? Baltimore, I got to give them props. Lamar Jackson, if he wins the Super Bowl, he deserves it. If he ain't going to beat you, Derrick Henry going to beat you. If Derrick Henry ain't going to beat you, Mark Andrews will. Isaiah Likely will. Zay Flowers will. They'll find a way. If they don't beat you, the defense will. Still a stout Ravens badass defense. That's what you want to call it. I don't like the Ravens. I don't. I hate them as much as a Steelers fan does. Works. That Patriots-Ravens rivalry worked out for me, didn't it? I hate them as much as a Steelers fan does. So I'm right there with you. I hate the Ravens. I hate Baltimore. But damn it, I'll give them credit. They played a perfect game, and the Steelers had no damn answer, no reason to be there. Cincinnati would have put up a better fight. I really believe that. Cincinnati should have just been given Pittsburgh's playoff spot. We knew Pittsburgh wouldn't do shit with it. They should have just gave it to Cincinnati and be like, you know what? You beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh ain't going to do shit with it. Go in. Just let them tag in. Hot tag, you know. because the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't give up a damn fight at all. They threw a couple of punches. Like they won, round 5 and 6, and then still got knocked out in round 8. Does it really matter? It wasn't even a decision. They got their ass pummeled from round 1 to 4, won rounds 5 to 6 somehow, and still got knocked out round 8. Does it matter what the scorecard says? No. Does it matter you wobbled them once? No. You still got knocked the hell out. Belt to ass. Get out of here. What a joke. Steelers not gonna Super Bowl. No. And you know what? We're better off for it. We're better off for it. Go Lions. Unless Tampa beats them. But I'll be wearing Honolulu blue on Super Bowl night, I'm pretty damn sure. Good for me. The mall had both a Steelers jersey and Lions jerseys. Good for me. So, we'll see what happens. With that being said, you're a joke. With that being said, there you go. I'll see you tomorrow for a live watch along of the Washington Commanders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will see you tomorrow for a review of all Divisional Sunday after that game is over. Should be fun. And then I'll see you on Monday night for a live watch along of Minnesota at LA Rams and a review of that game on Monday night. We still got a little bit left of divisional weekend, or wild card weekend, I should say. And we still got some stuff in the midweek as well. With that being said, I'll see you tomorrow because this game sucked. These games sucked. Let's hope tomorrow's better. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace.